Yeah, and I know you can scroll through your rewards, so it goes up to 30 victories, and then every 5 victories after that, you keep getting that same prize from the 30. And yours are not quite in line with where my rewards are at, but
A few moments later.
You know, everything that you just said right now, I kind of pushed that to the side. Did you just say that my rewards are not as good as your rewards? Are you saying I need to get on your level? Is that what it is? What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again for another video for Might and Magic Elemental Guardians. Today is going to be a very special video because not only do we have a sneak peek, but we have ourselves an amazing guest. Of course, somebody that you know I've been talking about for quite some time, Mr. Volkin with Volkin Games here today. How is it going, my man?
yeah, good man. Thanks for having me on the channel. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, buddy.
Great to be here.
It's a long time coming, and what better way to do it than to talk about the first big update for Might and Magic Elemental Guardians. We have the builds 1.9 coming into play. We're going to be talking about a couple of things that they are looking to change in this first week. As you guys have heard already, in the recent AMA for Ubisoft, they talked about having the next update coming in the first week of July. So today we're going to be talking about some of those things. And of course, Vulcan, which one, I mean, obviously there's a lot of cool things that we want to talk about here. Which one is the one you want to start out with?
First off, just because we're in your dungeon run, it's very obvious the health bars. So it's one that might be a little bit controversial. People might like the old health bars with the tankier your monster is, the more lines it has. But they've leveled it out. It's something I really like. It looks much cleaner, and it allows for a bit more. You're not going to know exactly what your enemy has in arena, in that
Right.
sort of sense. But everyone has the four portions to their bar now. So
Yep.
like I said, it just looks much cleaner, and that's the sort of thing I like about it.
Yeah, definitely. And we've already talked on the side, but you know, having a chance to test this game out, you know, prior to launch it, this was literally one of the first like 2 to 3 things that I threw at them as far as changing around. You know, the bars were all over the place, and for anybody out there that understands, endgame PvP, being able to create a unit in a unique fashion, something that you know generally people don't build, can really throw them off their game if they're trying to create a composition based on what they see. So having the health bars even out, you're not going to be able to give any information away once you go up into the match. So I'm pretty excited for this changes. I think it's going to really make the PvP gameplay just a better experience. So.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you chances, yeah, to play around with different interesting things. But the other thing that it's might be not be easy to notice. I haven't actually done too much testing on mine. I don't know if you have on yours, but they've said that the ×3 auto speed has gotten a little bit quicker.
Okay.
So we don't know by how much, but yeah, it's something makes you runs faster. So it's good for everyone, I think.
Right. And the honestly, I took a look at it, and I'm still running ×3 all day. It's not a big problem. But me personally, I didn't know like a crazy change. But it's again, any slight change is obviously good. You know, one of the things that I mentioned in a previous video was, even though I think that the speeding up the process, in order to reduce the run times is going to be fine. But I was really curious to see where they go in line with their AI tweaks and whatnot. And I do believe that there's going to be some changes along the way. What do you think about those?
Yeah, so they on the build they have made some AI changes, and I've done a bit of testing. It's not 100% great, like it's not in line with where I think it wants to be, but it's a good step forward. So they've identified it as an issue. They're working towards it. It'll probably take a couple builds before they get their AI exactly where they want it, but it's good to see because that was a big one from the community. So it's great to see that they're listening and actually working towards those sorts of things.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. Having that feedback from the community and trying to put it right into the game is great. So I'm pretty excited to see what kind of changes they make along that. But let's see, what's the next one you want to hit up here on the sneak peeks?
Well, I guess now that your dungeon runs over, we could go look at the arena.
Okay.
So I know they were wanting to get more participation going in arena, and I think they will actually do that. They've made a really good change with some really nice rewards. So you can probably go into the tab and have a look at it.
Right. So you got this option on the bottom right here for the milestones. Now this is pretty interesting. I know that obviously I'm a big fan of PvP either way, but now having that motivation to actually get the clears and get yourself some free rewards if you can get these victories in line. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and I know you can scroll through your rewards, so it goes up to 30 victories, and then every 5 victories after that, you keep getting that same prize from the 30. And yours are not quite in line with where my rewards are at, but for me, I'm in Gold League 2, and so, like, for instance, my 15 victories gives me 39,000 crystals and 30 epic fragments. 25 victories is 60 epic fragments and 50,000. And then for every 5 after that, I get 45,000 crystals and 65 reputation. So they're very good rewards, and it takes the pain away from refreshing your arena energy in a rush hour or something like that, trying to go up a league, because you're actually getting good rewards for it anyway.
Mm-hmm. You know, everything that you just said right now, I kind of pushed that to the side. Did you just say that my rewards are not as good as your rewards? Are you saying I need to get on your level? Is that what it is?
Yeah, man. So they scale. They say that they scale with the level. So yeah, you're
Yes.
getting the minor soul stones, and I'm getting the epics.
Yeah, it's all good. You know what though, and the beauty thing about this, I know that we had a lot of people talk about.
I think you can click the button. Sorry, check all leagues on the bottom right of that tab, and you
Yeah.
can look through all the leagues rewards. Yeah.
Yep, we'll take a look at it here. One of the things that I know people were talking about is like, oh man, I'm going to be attacking. Like, I don't want to deal with like all the, people that are really invested in the PvP, and that's what I like about this game. The whole league setup, it just keeps you in line with some of the players that are right around your area, and as you progress in higher leagues, you'll start to, obviously if you get to those higher leagues, then you'll essentially be pretty prepared to take on some of the people that generally hang around in that league. So for anybody out there that's in a lower league that is like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me forever to get up there, it's okay. There's no rush. Take your time, learn the game, learn the mechanics, and have fun with it.
Yeah, 100%. And I've noticed that, like from my testing, that you can fight people up to 2 leagues above you or 2 bit leagues below you. So you're always going to have that chance if you refresh through that you will get someone lower that is a fairly easy beat for you.
Yeah, buddy.
I think the one that a lot of people will be happy with is the glyph upgrades. The speed of the glyph upgrades is up. It's sped up a fair bit. Still no multiple times upgrade, but this one, it was handy. When I started upgrading some glyphs, I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, without question, it's a little bit faster. And like I said, I agree. I'm looking for that lovely button that they're going to be putting on the top right or bottom right. Ubisoft, if you're watching, write this down. Okay, take note. But looking for that auto button down the road. That would be really, really nice. But again, I will take this for what it's worth. Any improvement to speed up the downtime of upgrading every single glyph that you have here will be much appreciated.
I think the next one we go through is the guild rewards and costs. Now, they've put this in the notes, but it hasn't been implemented, obviously, because not everyone's on the version, so they can't implement this change yet.
Right.
But they have said that they'll review the rewards and costs from the guild quests, which is very good, because I know a lot of people have been saying that it seems like it's too costly to start and the rewards aren't good enough. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes once it goes live.
Yep. And again, just kind of echoing off of what you said, when I first got into the game and joined the guild, I was pretty overwhelmed with, or pretty surprised at the amount of resources that needed to be invested. And crystal wise, for me, it was really hard to contribute early on because I just didn't have a lot of resources. Now, of course, I can farm a little higher in the game, but I'm hoping that even if they were to keep certain amount of ranges in line, I hope that at least for the lower level guilds, they can make it more in line with them and not have people have to, take a second mortgage on their house just to pay for their for the next guild quest, right? So if they can work on that, and then we should be good.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you're getting into that early stage where you're trying to get your first Wrath 10 team sorted, and the thing that holds you back is the crystals, trying to upgrade those glyphs. You don't want to be wasting too many on starting the quest. So yeah, it's a good change, but interesting to see what happens. Well, I think the last one on my list was one that we're not allowed to spoil too much about, but it's that they're going to be doing some social events in the social community, just trying to get people involved in the game a bit more in another aspect outside of the game. So that'll be exciting, but like I said, we're not allowed to give too much away about that one yet.
Yep. And to kind of go along with that, one of the things that they will be doing is providing us kind of a little itinerary of some of the events that they will be doing throughout the week. So, or sorry, throughout the month. So this is going to give you guys a great opportunity to kind of, keep an eye on, certain events that you're looking forward to so that you can plan accordingly, whether there are specific events regarding summons or specific events regarding glyphs. This is some of the events that you guys have already seen in the game. Now we're going to have kind of a schedule to kind of get an idea of when those are going to be in line so that you can plan accordingly.
I believe we can say that they are going to do some events in relation to the World Cup, and some of these events will have stuff that's sort of it'll be limited on what you can use in these sort of events. So it's a new type of mechanic that we'll see that has extra limitations for players. So it'll be interesting.
Yep, and I think anybody would agree that any kind of fun and unique event where we don't take the same type of teams that we generally use and whatnot, we have to incorporate something unique to the mix. So I think that aspect is going to be pretty fun, and it allows us to learn a variety of new creatures that we may have had and didn't even realize that were actually good. So it should be pretty exciting. Again, I'm looking for that first person in the comments that, once this, video goes live, or sorry, once this event goes live, put in there, like, what are one of the unique units that, you had to take a look at to incorporate in maybe one of these events, and how did you, make it work for you, and how are you using it now in the future? Because that's going to be great to test out some more units out there versus just watching Volkin at Volkin Games, #shameless plug, watching his free-to-play videos and seeing what units you should use rather than which ones you guys want to actually, use and test out. So.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always about that. I'm always trying the new units just to see if you can find something that works, a different mechanic that you didn't know how it worked or anything like that. It's always fun. That's the great part about these games. There's a million ways to play them.
Right, definitely. Cool. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Is there any last bits that you wanted to throw in there, Volkin?
Not really. Just a big thank you to you for having me on the channel. I did watch you a lot earlier before I even got into YouTube, and I've always loved your content, so thanks for having me on.
No, not a problem, man. It's always been a pleasure to be able to connect with you, and like I said before, in all of my 32 other videos that I put out there, if you guys do not know who Volkin Games is, you are wrong. You need to stop what you're doing. Click the link down below for his YouTube and Twitch channel so you guys can go ahead and check him out. Again, guys, that's going to be the end of our sneak peek for Might and Magic Elemental Guardians. As Ubisoft stated, this should be coming out in the first week of July. No exact date on that yet, but definitely look forward to some amazing changes down the road, okay? That's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish and Volkin with ChildishPlays checking out. Take care, and we will see you guys in the next update. We're out.